Alright, so here's what I figured out to do in order to reinforce this male side of the press. So, the 2 layers of plywood were not enough for reinforcement, but there's not enough space inside the A-frame to have a glue lam. So what I'm doing is I made these huge, substantial blocks, and they are going to act as kind of a glue lam on the outside of the A-frame. So they're cut out to make room for the jacks. So you could say, oh look, it's an obvious weak point where it's still going to bend here and here. But it's also going to have the tabletop glued down. So instead of having the tabletop just set on there, I'm actually going to glue it down, and it's going to be part of the structure of this. Even though the tabletop is not the strongest material, it's just particle board. That should work, I'm hoping. Especially if I'm able to make these all a nice snug fit to where they're butting up against the metal. But if not, if that doesn't work out, I can try again with, I can make a new tabletop out of plywood if I need to. So, get started on this and we'll see how it goes. So here's what we've ended up with. These big old pieces of wood glue lams have been glued down. They've dried and they work great. The amount of flexing we're getting between the points in the middle is virtually none. So the amount of concave and shape we get between the jacks is really good. It's still flexing a little bit on this end, just because the cantilever arm is so long, and because of the fact that just this particle board just isn't quite adequate to fully support it. But it's enough to where it's not going to break the particle board, and it's stopping this from moving quite a bit, and so that's working out. That's not a huge worry to me either. Also because of the fact that most of this side of the press is just the index. Only a little bit is actually overhanging that is actually board. So that's good. We also have, I put down these new, the new mating interface, which is the Baltic birch surface, which has been covered with cellophane tape. So to explain this a little bit better, I wasn't able to get the board to conform perfectly to the concrete press with the pressure I have. So the solution is to change the shape of the surface slightly, so that I can get good pressure with a slightly less extreme shape. So how I did this was, what I did is I put down 6 pieces of Baltic birch, including these 2. So it's got the 4 layers for a board. And then what I did is I just winched it down. So I closed the press up, and whatever shape this setup was able to take is the shape that is stuck in these 2 outer surfaces. So you can see it didn't take all the shape. It took a pretty good portion of it. There's a little gap here. But the way you can think about it is, because there's a gap here, it means that there can't be a gap anywhere in the boards that I press between here and here. So that's a little hard to explain. I hope it makes sense, but yeah, so that's working out well. I also made some changes with the way I've got the jack set up. So basically how I ended up setting up the bottle jacks is to have them epoxied down to the frame at the bottom, and they're epoxied to this big 1-inch by 1-inch square rod at the top, and that is what's distributing the load so that the jacks don't sink into wood. And then this metal rod is held on to the wood just by double-sided carpet tape. And because it's glued at the top and bottom, the jacks can't slip, and they stay lined up vertically. This metal rod, this square rod here, is that was a great find. I actually just found it on the floor underneath this table saw right here. Completely forgot we had it. I don't know where it came from or what it's for. Obviously, it's been in here for a long time, but it's just working amazingly. Here's what I had before: is I had this thin piece of steel, which is actually not that thin, and it was being pressed against the wood. You can see the jack deformed the steel. It's deformed the wood, so that wasn't cutting it. But you know, no way the jack is gonna do anything to that. So here's where we currently stand. The press is working really good. I don't think I need to repress the male side of the concrete. I don't think I need to do anything. I think it's in a sustainable position now. You know, I was talking about, oh, I'll use it until it breaks. Well, I don't think it's going to break anymore. The one thing where I might be going back and revisiting some of the design of the press is when I go and start doing 16th inch birch ply, because I'm guessing I'll be able to get more shape out of the 16th inch birch than I've been able to get with the 8th inch birch. So that's going to involve me taking off these wooden mating interfaces, and I'm going to take them off, scrape the concrete clean, and then I'm going to re-glue them on using the same process, but with the 16th inch veneers in the middle. And that way I'll be able to have it so that these interfaces are adapted to the new material, and hopefully I'll get more shape out of it, because as you can see, I can get more shape. So there we go. It's working great. So there it is, the final press for now. See, I've got this space underneath where I can keep stuff like my glue, and I've also got just the pieces of the press that I've taken off that I'm not using at the moment. Under there, out of the way. Up here I've got a spray bottle of water, the little glue bottle, and my shrink wrap that I use for pressing up the boards. And here I've got my spreaders. And then down here I've even got my my wet rag to clean the glue off the boards before I stick them in the press. What else do I have here? This is all the wood I have to press into boards. This is all my Baltic birch. And then here is my stock of scrap formica that I've had. I've just got all sorts of odd colors. I got this purple here, green. This is a cool patterned black. If I take the plastic off, you can see more purple. Got some blue, and I've got white. I've got matte white and glossy white, and oh look, even a wood grain one. Alright, so the plan is to be pressing up a board about every 3 days. I'm having to leave the boards in there a little longer than I'm used to, just because of the fact that I'm pressing both tops and bottoms top sheets with formica, which doesn't let water escape very well. So hopefully I don't run out of money and have to if I have to buy more stuff. So hopefully I can sell some boards, so I can. Otherwise, I'll have a big old press made and nothing to make boards with. But anyway, that's a problem for when I run out of wood. So anyway, Longboard technology over and out.